Hi, I'm Lee Hawes. This is my buffalo hunting horse, Comanche. Welcome to Classic Hunts in the American Outback. Take a step back in time with us as we hunt the American West with period-style firearms, much the way your forebears did. We're going to be here in Meade, Kansas. We're going to be hunting Spanish Mouflon Cross Ram. We're going to be using an 86 Winchester. We're also going to be, there's quite an abundance of prairie dogs in this area, so we're going to be also doing a prairie dog hunt with a little rolling block. It's just pretty cute. I'm going to take Comanche over and let him graze a little bit. He's got a full day ahead of him tomorrow. We're going to be doing all these hunts a horseback. I'll meet you back here later at the campfire. You know, guys, we're going to be doing this sheep hunt tomorrow morning. We kind of need to have a plan of action. Well, what I'm figuring is we'll go across these ridges. These ridges lay like fingers, and what we can do is we can work up and down them and keep glassing back in them. And I'll have Cody, you and Trevor going with me horseback and kind of help me scouting and doing that kind of a thing, and then taking care of the horses and stuff, you know. And for doing that, what the rifle I'm gonna be using is an 86 Winchester here. I got her here, if I can get her drug out, in a 50 Express. And it's color case hardened and octagonal barrel, nice. That's a really nice rifle. Here, Cody, look at that.
I don't know about all that. You think that'll kill it?
Oh, I think that's the next best thing, calling in an airstrike, man. I tell you, if we get some time, we're gonna do a prairie dog hunt too. And this rifle I'm gonna use on that prairie dog hunt. This is a rolling block. A Lone Star rolling block and a 22 Hornet. And that's I'm not gonna look at the edge of it, but it's that muzzle, but it darn near looks like a little BB gun compared to that 50 Express. But you know, that'll be a good little rifle for doing that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, that thing will just turn a prairie dog wrong side out. You don't even have to skin it.
Yeah, that'd probably do the number on him, you know. Here on Classic Hunts in the American Outback, we're going to use a lot of different type of firearms. We've got Lone Star rolling blocks, we've got Sharps rifles, we've got muzzle loading shotguns, muzzle load double rifles, and muzzle loading Hawkins style rifles, along with some revolvers. We're going to use all these things in our complete series, different hunts, different situations. This is not your average outdoor hunting show. On the bottom, we've got a 58 caliber Kodiak double barrel rifle. This is a 50-90 Sharps rifle configuration. One of the most important things about the Sharps is you got to cock this to a half cock before you open the action, or you're going to mess up the firing pin. This has got your long-range flip-up sights. This rifle was the premier weapon of the professional buffalo hunter. 50-90, this rifle weighs 15 and a hair pounds. This next rifle is a 54 caliber round ball shooter. What that means is it's got the right kind of lands and grooves to stabilize a round ball. This is pretty much I call it my Johnny Cash rifle, made out of parts and pieces, one of a kind, by a local gun maker. This is a double barrel, 10 gauge. You notice the stock's been added on to, give me a little more length. I've got long arms. This is pretty cool. Black powder shotgun are a lot of fun. You can do a lot of things with them. A lot of small game, a lot of turkey, that kind of thing. This is a Lone Star rolling block. A rolling block is real simple. You cock the hammer back, the block rolls. The thing about rolling blocks is they're just darn near bomb-proof. This one is pretty special. If you notice the end, it looks much like a BB gun. It's actually in a 22 Hornet cartridge. 22 Hornet was the very first varmint round devoted exclusively for such things. This is the weapon we're going to try and harvest a couple prairie dogs with. Made in Conroe, Texas. This is a 45 Colt, first generation single action revolver. Bat Masterson, of course, was in Dodge City, the sheriff at that time. Gave this revolver to my great-grandfather to give him an extra firearm to make it home on, so in case the renegades attacked him, he would have more firepower. The Renegade's never materialized. The revolver's in excellent condition, and it's been in the family since, and one of my personal favorites, for sure. What we've also got is one of my personal carries is a Ruger Vaquero. Really neat firearm, got the Old West look to it, but yet it's super functional. It's stout enough that we can put a 44 mag cartridge in it of a dangerous game cartridge, and this is what I primarily use as my duty as a professional hunter and my sidearm. This is my personal insurance policy. This one guarantees my wife doesn't collect my insurance. We're in Meade, Kansas here at the Crooked Creek Hunting Ranch. We're gonna be hunting a Spanish Mouflon ram. J.W. Vanderpool's got a lot of exotics here, and this is a hunt we're wanting to emphasize. I've got Trevor, my right-hand man, and Cody, my son, along with us, and they're gonna guide the horses and help me out on this hunt. Now what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna go across this ridge, and the ridges run like fingers. And we're just gonna keep working over the top of them and glassing back in to find these rams so we can swing around and approach them from the right direction with the wind, all right? Now it looks like we may be getting some rain pretty quick, so we need to get headed on out before it gets in here. We'll maybe be running out of time. What we gotta do, guys, is gotta be real careful because it's so open, we've gotta see them before they see us. So that's real and crucial. As wide open as it is, they've got pretty good eyesight, so we're gonna keep working these fingers across. We gotta see them first. Let's move on up ahead into it. All right, let's start in through here. You want to hang back there, Cody, with them horses, and let me move on up into here. They're running, looking at us right now. See that big boy on the far left? He's a guy we'd like to get, but right now, they've kind of got us made. We're gonna let them drop over that other ridge there, and they'll hold up in the bottom there, and then we'll be able to get it. I'm trying to put a stalk on these sheep and walk right up on this rattler. They don't tend to go too far if you put a 44 slug in their head. They don't go too far. I don't know where the sheep are going yet, but we'll find out soon as my heart slows down just a little bit. I about stepped on him, and it took me 3 tries to get my heart started back on here. Gonna have to be careful we get down and make a stalk. We already bumped one rattler. We're liable to get into another if we're not real careful. So we're gonna have to really watch ourselves and be alert when we're moving around through here. Gotta get snake bit, you're a long ways from town. They'll probably just have to leave you here and bury you or something. Keep a hold of them ponies. We're gonna slip out this ridge over here and keep them close, so if we mess up, we don't want to be afoot all the time. So come back up to us and get us back a horseback again so we can set up and go again if we mess it up. That's what we'll do. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of time. This stuff's blowing in here, and it's windy enough as it is, but it starts raining on these hills. We don't want to be on these hills. It rains. Get wet fast, and I'm terribly allergic to electricity and lightning. I think what we're going to have to do is, when those sheep cross that ridge again, then we're going to have to hot foot it, get over to about where they are right now, just as fast as we can. And hopefully we don't stumble on any more rattlesnakes. I don't know how many more rattlesnakes my heart could stand this morning. I need to get under 200. I need to get under 200 there. If I go outside over there, We can get over there pretty fast on foot, a lot faster than trying to get back on a horse and get back off a horse. No further than that is. We've got to get them out of sight so we can make our move on them. The bad part of it is when they started down that hill, you notice how they kind of sped up. They may keep going until they get out in the open again, is the only problem. Looks like they've stopped out on a flat on the other side of this ridge. We're gonna come around this ridge, try to keep from skylighting ourselves. It's gonna be a long shot for this kind of an old firearm sights and cartridge, but we're gonna give it a try. Come on. These rams are kind of in a ball out there. The big guy I want is on the far left, kind of facing us. Got another ram in front of him, one to the side of him. Okay, I'm gonna cock my hammer. I don't have him yet. He's not in the clear, but the minute he's in the clear, okay. He's hit good. He's going down. He's going on the other side of the ridge. Yeah, he's not quite finished yet. When I shot him there, that big old 50 caliber bullet, he kind of hunched like this and put his front leg down like this and bowed his neck. I've shot thousands of animals with my clients as a professional hunter, and that when they bow their neck and arch it like that, that means you got one in his boiler room. He ain't going far. He didn't make it very far. He probably, I suppose 30, 40 yards from where we shot him is where he piled up here. But we'll give him a couple more minutes and then we'll get up there and look at him.
Wow, Mercy, that is a nice animal.
Oh, thank you, JW.
Good job, Dad.
Thanks, Cody. He's all right, Trevor, you rascal. Ain't he a birdie? He's purty,
Yes,
ain't he?
sir, he is.
He's purty. Well, you boys got to get that animal skinned, caped, and hauled back to camp, man. So they got a lot of work to do. We're gonna go mess around some or go get something to drink or something. Let these boys get some work done. We'll be back with more classic hunts in the American Outback. Stay with us. That's the thing about using a rifle like this with iron sights and a 22 Hornet configuration. It's about 150 yard cartridge. I mean, you know, you're looking at the front sight covers up so much of the dog that you got to get pretty close, but it makes it a lot of fun. You got to really place your shots and pick your shots. A lot different than using an adjustable objective scope and a 22-250 or something like that. Those are okay, but this takes a lot of skill and a lot of patience to do it this way.
More of a sport, really.
Yeah, it's more. You got it's more sporting.
Right. More sporting
yeah.
rather than the high-powered scopes and everything. Yeah, it's pretty simple, actually, but
yeah,
still a sport.
Yeah, to me, and I've done some of that too. You know,
right.
with the adjustable objective. There's nothing wrong with that, but to me, it isn't near as challenging. And that's the whole thing to me, is putting the challenge back in the thing, you know. That's the whole deal.
Because with the iron sights, you've got to have the prairie dogs come up closer to you, and that in itself is a sport. They're scared of you and they'll go down a hole.
Yeah, that's right, right. So we're just gonna sit here and wait on them to come up a little bit more, and we just gotta pick our shots. We'll let him turn.
I think you got him.
I think we need to collect him for supper. He'll be better than fried chicken. He'll be nice and tender. I'm gonna go get him. We don't want to take a chance of him getting down the hole. All right. That's a nice big one, JW.
I know it. He'll be good eating.
Oh.
Well, he's coming to us.
Come on.
Charging you, better shoot
I
him.
know it. Wad cutter kind of done number to him, didn't it?
I think you shot him right through the heart.
That's where I was aiming.
Oh, all right. That big a slug, he went a long ways for that kind of shot.
Yeah. One of the things I want to talk about today is rifle scabbards. This is a rifle scabbard put on our pony to carry our rifle when we're heading out across the prairie hunting. And that's, you know, the way the lever guns were carried, that kind of stuff. And that's where grandpas and great-grandpas did it. There's a lot of ways to put the scabbard on a horse, but all of them have a lot of problems. If you've got a scabbard angled out like this, like some of them, a lot of times if you're going up a hill, it can bounce and jostle and get out. We don't want that. If it's on the other side, facing forward, when you step off the horse, you're on the wrong side. Not good. So what we like to do is we want to mount this scabbard on this side, but instead of lacing it through like everybody else does, my grandpa and them boys, they showed me how to do it. You put a bull snap on here. This end has a loop. So what we do, we put a twist in this leather. Oh, son. Put it around the saddle horn, bring up this bull snap, and it hooks right into a saddle ring, or in this case, a hobble ring. That way, she's secure. When we go to put the rifle in, we're right here, the horse isn't excited. I step off, I see some game, I step off the horse, the rifle's right here, I pull it up, it's ready to go. Good thing that we're able to carry it, it's safe, it's protected. The other little thing is, never, ever, ever leave a rifle in the scabbard unattended on the horse. Horses are like teenagers. We don't trust them with anything valuable. Welcome back to Classic Hunts in the American Outback. As we talked about previously, there's a lot of history in this area in Meade County, Kansas. One of the most major things that Meade County is famous for is the Dalton brothers. This is the Dalton gang hideout here in Meade, Kansas. Got a lot of history. This house is where their sister lived. The boys, they would make withdrawals from banks with guns, bank robbers. Well, things got too hot for them someplace, they'd come here. Now the interesting part about this place is they would stay here, but they would make their escape out through the barn, which is off to my left, and there's a tunnel, an underground tunnel comes from this house into the barn. That's how they could get away. And we're gonna go on inside here and talk to the curator of this museum, and we're gonna go down through that tunnel just like the bank robbers did. Follow along with us. We're gonna go on in here now.
Welcome, Lee and JW. I'm Norman Dyer, the curator of this Dalton Gang hideout. And if you would care to look the place over, I'll kind of take you on a quick tour of it. If you want to, you can start with the bedroom in Eva's house over here.
Sure.
Eva was the Dalton boy's sister, and she married John Whipple, who was a local merchant here in town in 1887. He built this little house for her. And then her brothers got to where they was coming in, staying here, hanging from the lawn. They dug a tunnel from the barn up to the house, and they could ride the horses in down the draw and come up here, and the local people uptown wouldn't see them come in. And they could spend some time here, and if someone would come to the front door, they could go down, hide in the tunnel, and if they wanted to, they could get on out on the horses and head on down the trail, not be seen. This is the sitting room, or living room, whatever you might want to call it. It had a sewing machine here. Eva was a seamstress too, so she no doubt did quite a lot of sewing. And I'm sure when her brothers were here, John and them probably played several rounds of cards on this table. And
there's a lot of neat dressmaking type stuff here. 1880, well, that's the same year my great-grandfather started a ranch on the Mulberry. Player piano's pretty neat too. Can you tell us about it?
Well, that's a pump organ is what that is.
Ah, I see.
I'm sure Eva probably played a few songs on that.
And so they would pump these pedals, and that would put air through it.
Pump air up through it.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
This area here would have been sort of a dining room and maybe a breezeway type deal. Originally there was a door that went outside there, and so they could have come in there also, Eva and John. And the kitchen was in here.
Let's go in the kitchen. I'm always interested in the kitchen. That's where we've got to get something to eat in here.
A small kitchen, been made to have some of the type of things that Eva would have used in here, the old pie cabinet, a little wood stove, coffee grinder back here.
This would be a cider press then, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You run this thing, the other screws this.
Yeah,
and
cut the apples up and put them in there, and
squeeze.
then crank this down and press the juice out of it.
Squeezes them through that little, through them cracks, and then it runs in this thing. And
Put a jug in that.
Got a jug in there.
Have a bucket or something down here, and the juice would run out into the container down there.
Well, that's pretty slick. So these are butter churns. This is a butter churn. What'd you call this one?
Well, I guess there'd be butter churns or butter dashers or a dasher. I think that's the same thing.
Same thing, just a smaller version.
Yeah. You've got to skim the cream off. Just let your milk set for a couple of days and skim that cream off, and then put it in this churn. Lift that handle and pump it up and down for about 30 minutes or an hour, and it turns into butter eventually, and then you'll have buttermilk. The real liquid will separate from the butter, and you've got butter.
A rather small house. There's not a whole lot of space upstairs here, but there is a downstairs to it. That we'll go through it when we head toward the tunnel. So if you want to go on down.
Let's go look at it. That's cool, man.
Yeah. The tunnel originally was just a crawl space from the barn up into the house, and they had a trap door in the floor that they had covered with a rug, and when local people would come in, they wouldn't see it there, but that's how they could get into the house by use of that trap door. And if anybody was coming, well, they could jump back down in under the trap door and hide down here in the tunnel. People wouldn't know they were here.
They could escape unseen that way, right?
Yeah.
How long is this tunnel approximately?
It's approximately 95 feet long.
Wow.
That was quite an accomplishment for some outlaws to
Oh,
put in that kind of physical labor.
yeah. Most of those guys didn't want to work anyway.
No,
Right.
They was too busy robbing banks.
yeah.
When we're talking about these Dalton brothers, the Dalton gang, how many of them was there actually?
There were, in this particular gang, at the time they were shot in Coffeyville, there were 3 brothers, Bob, Emmett, and Grant, and 2 other men.
They were just they were part of the gang, but not Dalton family, right?
Yeah.
How many years did they? Most of those bank robbers really didn't have a long reign of terror or something.
Life expectancy.
Life expectancy. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think.
No, they're robbing banks. I think probably only lasted about 2 years.
I think so, yeah.
They did have a brother, Bill, who wasn't with them at Coffeyville, and he continued robbing banks with different ones until, I believe, 1894 when he got shot down, I believe it was Austin, Texas.
So the bank robbing was just kind of their thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Family trade.
Family trade. Yeah, that's it. Quite a
Their
trade.
mother just couldn't understand what was wrong with them. It wasn't, they weren't raised that way.
Right.
And upstairs here we have, this place upstairs in what would have been a hayloft at that time. And so we can go on up if you want to.
You bet. Let's go take a look at it. As long as I don't have to pitch no hay.
No hay up here. We have some old-time guns here. Some double barrels, and there's an 1873 Winchester. There's a model 94 up there.
He knows he did.
Yeah, you probably tell me a lot about the guns.
What is this?
I'll tell you what though, these double barrel shotguns did, once you got past the buffalo hunting in the frontier pioneer area, the shotguns actually did more than anything. I mean, they were the meat gatherer, you know.
Prairie chicken.
You could gather anything with a shotgun, whatever you poured down the bore.
And there's one of J.W.'s rattlesnakes.
Yeah, that's kind of puny compared to the ones we was getting.
Sure is.
Puny. Thanks a lot, Norman, for showing this to us. We really enjoyed this piece of history here.
Well, we thank you for coming by and bring your friends and neighbors and everyone back. We sure appreciate you coming back. And if we have time, we'll just show you the whole county. There's lots of rich history in Meade County.
Like Norm said, there's a lot of rich Western history in this area. Thanks for joining us this week. Be back with us next week for more classic hunts in the American Outback.